Imagine waking up one morning to find that the National Guard has been deployed to your city, supposedly to combat rising crime rates. But what if the real motive behind this move was not to protect citizens, but to further an authoritarian agenda and distract from a scandal that could potentially bring down a presidency? This is exactly what's happening in Washington, D.C., where Donald Trump has placed the city's police under federal control and announced the deployment of National Guard troops, citing out-of-control crime rates as the justification. But here's the thing. Crime numbers in D.C. are actually down significantly, including for violent crimes. So what's really going on here? But here's where it gets controversial. Trump's move is not just about distraction. It's also about perpetuating a racist narrative that associates black and multiracial cities with crime and violence. And this is the part most people miss. This power grab is part of a broader agenda to create a deeply authoritarian and personalized state, where the monopoly of violence rests exclusively in the hands of Trump. To understand the motivations behind Trump's actions, it's essential to look at the context. In recent weeks, Trump has been trying to deflect attention from the Jeffrey Epstein case, which has the potential to tarnish his reputation and even threaten his presidency. By creating a sense of crisis in D.C., Trump is attempting to reconnect with his base and refocus their attention on issues that resonate with them, such as law and order. But of course, this is not just about distraction. It's also about authoritarianism and nativism, two ideologies that are closely connected and have been central to Trump's political agenda. The cities Trump links to disorder and violence, such as Baltimore, D.C., and Oakland, are broadly identified as black cities in the U.S. On the other hand, cities like Los Angeles, which has a large Hispanic population, and New York, which is often seen as a melting pot, are excluded from the real America in right-wing narratives. This racist fear and rejection of multiracial cities have a long history in the U.S., and Trump has been a key player in perpetuating these stereotypes. Just remember his response to the infamous Central Park 5 case, where he called for the execution of a group of multiracial teenagers accused of raping a white female jogger. Or consider his 2024 campaign, where he claimed that Philadelphia was ravaged by bloodshed and compared Detroit to a developing country. Trump's aversion to multiracial cities was undoubtedly strengthened by the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, which were successfully vilified in right-wing media. Today, only 22% of Republicans support the BLM movement, compared to 84% of Democrats. Moreover, multiracial cities tend to vote disproportionately for Democrats, which is another sore point for Trump. By targeting these cities, Trump is not only playing into the widespread racist association of these cities with crime and violence, but he's also strengthening the belief that these Democrat-run cities are out of control. The message to his base is clear. Democratic rule in these cities is weak and endangers the heartland, all, of course, linked to the alleged open border policies of former President Joe Biden. But here's the thing. This power grab is not just about Trump's authoritarian agenda. It's also about creating a personalized state where he has complete control over the monopoly of violence. If implemented, the new budget will transform the U.S. into a deportation state, centered around the Department of Homeland Security and its immigration and customs enforcement, which is increasingly operating as a presidential militia. It's crucial that liberal Democratic actors take this authoritarian power grab seriously, without letting it distract them or the wider public from the Epstein case. As long as the courts still work, at least to some extent, the Trump administration should be challenged in court. Media have a responsibility to inform the public of the real facts, including real-time fact-checking of Trump's speeches. But most importantly, media and politics must stop treating these actions as incidents and connect the dots, for themselves and for the broader public. While each individual action might not be anti-democratic, they are all connected and together constitute a clear and consistent attack on democracy. And while all the institutions still stand, they represent less and less the liberal democratic values they were founded on. So we have to ask, what can be done to stop this authoritarian slide? How can we ensure that the institutions of democracy are protected and that the rule of law is upheld? And what role can the media play in holding those in power accountable? These are questions that require urgent attention and debate. As we move forward, it's essential to remember that the deployment of National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. is not just a local issue. It's a symptom of a broader disease that threatens the very foundations of democracy. We must be vigilant and take action to protect our democratic values before it's too late. The future of our democracy depends on it.